With this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do auto lines and auto shapes. Over on your toolbar, they're located in your illustration tools. So we have your line segment tool, and it's one of those tools where it has that little tiny triangle that's indicating it has more tools that are hidden. So if you click hold on that, you're going to see a window pop up, and it shows you the line segment, the arc tool, spiral, rectangular grid, and polar grid. To draw any auto line or any auto shape, two ways to do it. You can just click and drag, and you can also just click. And when you click, a window pops up, and it's just going to ask for anything it needs to know how to draw what you want. So in this case, I'm drawing a line, so Illustrator needs to know its length. So let's say I want it to be 1 inch, and it needs to know the angle. And let's say I want it to be horizontal, so I'm just going to plug in no angle and click OK. And there's a 1 inch horizontal line. Again, any tool, auto line, auto shape, you can just drag it out, or you can click and then plug in some of the options. Your spiral tool. Rectangular grid. With this one, you can plug in how many dividers you have horizontally and vertically, and also just the full size of it. Same with the polar grid. Okay. Size, and then how many dividers you have. Okay, the selection tool right here, this selects objects. And so when you click, it puts a bounding box around it. And it also indicates in that same color what the object is. So it shows you where this path is. If you want to delete something, you can select it and then just hit the delete button on your keyboard. You can also select by scrolling around objects, and if it picks up on any part of it, of that object, it will select it. So I can grab those and select it and delete, grab those, select delete. Auto shapes. So the topmost shape is the rectangle tool. Again, it's a tool with that little tiny triangle. That means more tools are hidden. So underneath we have the rounded rectangle, the ellipse, the polygon, the star, and the flare. This works the same as the line tool. You can drag out a rectangle, or you can just click. With the rectangle tool, you have these tiny little dots inside the corners. These can manipulate what the look of the corner is. Do you want it to be a corner, or do you want it to be rounded? And then how much do you want it to be rounded? You can automatically draw the rounded rectangle. Here's the ellipse that draws ovals, and it draws circles. If you want to draw a perfect circle, or even just a perfect square, or anything that's a 1-to-1 ratio, hold the shift key as you drag it out, and that'll keep the same 1-to-1 ratio. Again, I could have also clicked and then plugged in my measurements. Polygon tool, it defaults to a hexagon, but if I click my mouse or my touchpad, it prompts me with how many sides do you want. So if you wanted to draw a triangle, well, that's just a 3-sided shape. So bring the sides down to 3, click OK. And now everything I draw will be a triangle on the polygon tool until I click again, just my mouse, and change the side amount. The star works the same way. It's defaulted to a 5-pointed star. But if I click my mouse or my touchpad, I can tell it how many points to have. And now, whenever I draw, it's going to have that amount of points until I change it again. So I can go back to the 5-pointed star. And then lastly, you have the flare tool. And it's something that Illustrator has a preset of, and it just looks like it's a glare on your design. Okay, Putting a fill on your shapes, you can choose color in any of your 3 locations. And then you also have an outline option. You can change the color of that as well. You can change the outline size right here is one location for stroke size. Or you also have a stroke panel right here. Again, you should show more options. So hit that menu, show options, and you can increase, decrease the weight there. Or on a line, you can change some of its options, what the end cap looks like, what the corner looks like, how you align the stroke. Is it going to be a dashed line? So lots of options in the stroke panel. If you draw multiple shapes, so let's draw another rectangle. Remember that your default is that you are drawing in front of the last object. If you want to rearrange them, let's say I want this rectangle in front of it, you can go to the menu option object, because we're dealing with objects, and you can arrange them and you can send that object to the front. And now it sits in front. You can also right click your touchpad or your mouse, and one of the options is to arrange. And now let's say I want to send it back, so I can send it to the back.